Here, you're on my wire.
Yeah, that's so much work to do this show.
I'm exhausted already.
You just wasted all your good banter off the air, Matt. We could have been talking about sushi
Test.
and how great it is.
We really should have waited to eat until the break because
We were too hungry, though.
that's true. I wasn't really.
There was too much good stuff.
Supper time.
We got plenty to eat. We can eat in the break too.
No, I know. It just means I just meant like because we would be hungry, we would talk about
How much food?
how much food. That
Yeah,
we
I
were
listened to
looking
the
at.
Taco Bell episode.
The episode where we're waiting for the Taco Bell to show up.
Yeah,
Like pretty.
it's
I'm like, go check on those tacos.
like every 5 minutes. At the end of the show, we're like, all right, Taco Bell's here. Bye.
Yeah, no time for niceties. We have things to do.
I know, man. It was good, though. It hit the spot. It scratched the itch.
Yeah. We showed it's our kimono.
All our sayings. We should have shirts.
We
start
We
doing
need merch.
Warp merch.
Yeah.
Merch
So for famous, we should have a shirt that
I'm
just
gonna give
has.
you all-
We should have a shirt that just has Spock written all the way around it
Says
in
Spock,
like
Spock, Spock,
super
Spock, Spock.
small text that goes all the way around the shirt, the sleeves, everything,
We're
just the
going to talk
entire
about
shirt.
that later tonight.
Did you guys see that? Who's that kind of pugnacious?
I'm going to get you guys all warped
MMA
merch
fighter
for
who's like
Christmas.
It
Scottish
should be a
or
cat.
What's that?
what's that guy's name?
McGregor?
That plan,
McGregor?
McGregor. Yeah. He has
Conor
that-
McGregor.
He's got that pinstripe shirt, but if you look at the pinstripes, it actually just says "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you."
Oh yeah.
That should be our Spock pinstripe. After dark line.
The After Dark line. One that says, "What's that in her ear?"
Oh, man.
What is that?
Every time I'm alarmed.
Yeah.
Look, I have a tool for when it's dark.
Corrections Corner.
Nice.
You guys did a great job with that one too this week. Because Matt says, Jake, play the Corrections Corner jingle, and then it plays, and
Yeah.
then he goes right into the
We didn't. We
Corrections
left. We left just the right amount of time afterwards, so I
Yeah.
didn't have to get clever to decide where to put it in.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Jacob, I'm a little concerned that when you get a job, the quality level is going to drop.
but I was-
How are you going to fit all that in?
I was talking to that about Matt on the way back last time.
Were you telling that in your phone interview that you really have to make time?
I mentioned it, but he didn't press on it in
Yeah.
my phone interview. So
He's like, I'm only gonna basically have a toe in this job. You know what I mean? So I hope that's
got
not an
a more
issue.
important thing
I do
to
have
do.
other obligations, and I mean, not to put fine a point on it, but more important obligations.
that may have been like what really happened in the phone interview. Is like this guy was just like, this guy sounds really happy, and I don't want to upset that by hiring him for this
Yeah.
job.
Oh, you're like, I guess I should work. I mean,
Yeah, the drawbacks of having a relaxed attitude.
what was?
If only we could afford to pay you to
Yeah,
do this.
yeah. Jacob doesn't cost.
Hey, my
probably that
dad
much.
signed up as a patron.
You did?
shit.
Awesome.
Does he realize the lowest
given
level
$10
is like
he's given
$10,000 a month?
So we got to do a shout out to my dad on this episode.
All right.
'cause he's in the $10 bracket.
Yeah.
Nice.
I figured we could call that sponsor spotlight.
All right. We need another jingle.
Let's do it.
Sponsor Spotlight.
I think it should be really.
Because I like it when things have names.
It should be
Yeah.
all like, should all be like a cash register.
Another
open.
famous warped bit.
One of our famous.
That's what we're famous for.
We have bits.
Our bits.
when we do
Our kibbles and bits.
Our bits that die at death.
Yeah. Like Gene Roddenberry.
Gene Roddenberry.
Dead forever.
Checking to see what
I will never again ask you.
What's on-
Ask what Gene thinks.
what's on TV at the
The
time.
amount of disappointment you had at the last.
We don't do that anymore.
Well, we get new bits. And then
STD Wheel of Fortune.
Well, that one was-
died a quick death.
Well, how many times do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's limited.
That one was great, but it's kind of.
we should do it for real.
Kind of a one-night
Let's just
stand.
go to.
Our ongoing bit is that we do different bits once in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, way to go, producer.
Yeah, that's our thing. That's our thing. Just let it go.
Corrections Corner has lasted for a while.
That's true.
Through my sheer force of.
Because like talking
Because we
about-
make so many mistakes,
Well,
and or
talking about
we need to clarify things.
what we talked about is always like good.
yeah. Hey,
I don't know.
It's like
I don't know where we
filler.
are.
You
in the
remember?
timeline.
You remember? Yeah, good.
No, Corrections Corner is my favorite part of the episodes because
Wow.
I always learn new things.
I don't know where we are in the in the timing, but I think there needs to be at least an elaborations corner of when you said you would be a good Nazi, Matt.
We haven't learned.
We haven't heard that episode. He hasn't listened to it yet.
I think you might want to talk a bit more about that one. Or that just
or just
becomes
let it
a saying out there. A
I'm
quote.
comfortable with that.
Okay.
I'm willing to admit.
There's
that
one
I
here.
have a weak
You're a
moral
follower.
tone.
It's up there. Can you get the bottle opener for Max?
Thank you, sir. Oh, man, thanks. I didn't expect that level of service.
Well, maybe.
The cat bottle opener blows.
All right. It's all on the bottom. I should have mixed
Can you
it.
see?
It's good.
You want this down here?
Let's give-
Yeah, that'd be better.
Oh, fancy. It's like I'm actually
I don't have my fancy cooler.
This one feels like
Yeah, what's up?
It just the timing of what I was doing before. I didn't get a chance to go home. I just had to buy the booze on the run.
Whoa.
Get it on the
I wasn't organized
baby.
enough to bring the cooler with me and use it. So
Yeah.
That's the way you want it, baby.
I was too busy eating.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you remember when we did a podcast? We did an After Dark after Jackson did a hip hop dance performance. I think it was a Taco Bell night.
Yeah.
That place where he did it was a Catholic school, and
Right.
now they're embroiled in a huge scandal because the nuns stole like $500,000.
Is that school? I heard about the scandal. I didn't realize that was that school.
We're pretty sure.
Yeah.
We were like all commenting on how well run that place is and how upscale it felt, and I was like,
Just because they really had they had a full on, carnival and lots of volunteers and a beer garden and like all this stuff. But apparently the nuns have
What do you
been
think of that?
skimming off the top.
it's
and
good.
telling
It's
them
like
they
it's
don't have
real-
money
it
for
feels like it's
Yeah, it's good, right?
Yeah.
supplies and stuff. But they've been going to Reno and the picture of the nuns they're so like grandma looking.
Yeah, they're
That's how you do it. You fly under the radar. You don't look like a criminal. Yeah, I'm ready for that. We have a cactus lit
yeah.
up somewhere.
I
Did we
turned it
turn
off. I turned it off because it was on batteries. I didn't know if you.
I wanted it for the After Dark episode.
Oh shit! I thought we just left it on, so I was like,
No, I turned it on for ambience. I thought it might be nice.
Okay, settle in. Find your places.
"That's producer talk for shut the fuck up."
And let's get your microphones into your positions. Get comfortable.
I'm spreading, getting the speculum, and I'm opening the crevasse.
Yeah,
There you
I think
go.
it's nice to have a little cactus action. I'm not sure my this is plugged in. It doesn't sound any different.
Then I don't know how.
It sounds quieter actually, which means it's muffling my ears.
Jake's still working on levels.
Levels.
The one thing I will say, and this is a testament to Jacob, Matt and I were talking about this podcast we listened to and how
boy.
shitty the audio is on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a professional
Yeah.
podcast.
It's like a real
It's not-
podcast, and they're
and
Yeah.
they
we
sound
sound
terrible.
like 1,000 times better than them.
Like you have to turn it way up, and then when you turn on other things in your car, it's like way off.
yeah.
Yeah, I've had that before with podcasts.
I can't hear myself either. Is it turned on?
I can hear myself.
Do you need a cactus?
Maybe I have a hearing problem in general.
Mine
This is
not-
when I
mine is
discover
on.
it.
Oops. That thing just fell over.
Oh no, and it started.
How did it
Oh my
start
god.
the episode?
This is a disaster, you guys.
I need to turn the.
Do you want to know something kind of funny? I think I
Sure.
might have mentioned it. You're like, no, I do not.
Never.
Never. Don't even start. Because often I only watch
know.
like the first few minutes of the episodes. I forget that Scotty has a Scottish accent and
Chekhov
Chekhov has a Russian. And when I hear it, when I watch it like off of this, I'm like, what is going on?
Because you never hear them.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's not plugged
because I
in.
spend more time with Star Trek as a noob with
this.
Or maybe I'm
format.
just
Yeah.
So
so
I'm
high.
like kind of
There it
surprised
is.
Oh, now
Hey.
when they're like
Hear
over the
everybody.
top.
I was
like-
just high and thought that I could hear myself in my headphones. Sorry,
Well,
guys.
that's what puzzled me. I was like, well, if Sean's
I'm
here.
like, sweet man, he's got special powers.
I got, yeah, I'm sorry.
There we go.
I can tell the difference now.
oh,
Me
okay.
too.
That's definitely on.
All right.
He's like, what's your line with when you see your heroes? Like, what's that shit in her ear?
Yeah.
That's what.
What is that?
What is that?
Have you guys ever gotten your earwax cleaned out?
Yes.
Like professionally?
Is it really satisfying? Like you see all this
No.
stuff in the jar?
Why?
Can I tell? This is a little bit of a gross story.
I want to hear. I've never
So,
done it.
A couple of weeks
But I'm
ago,
intrigued.
I was cleaning my ears out with a Q-tip.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I must have
Like you're not supposed to, but
pushed whatever was up, earwax. I must have pushed it further up.
Oh.
Because I went basically completely deaf in my right ear.
So
Okay.
what were
Oh,
your
I get
next
it.
steps? Just
Deaf
wait
people
it out.
are gross.
It was
I know.
really uncomfortable. It didn't hurt, but it was uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean?
You felt pressure in a
Yeah, it was
more.
like this weird pressure.
So
and,
what
like-
what were your next steps? Just hope
So
for
I
the-
went to the pharmacy and I got one of those like earwax kits.
Cleaners.
Oh,
right?
The
home
suck-
style,
the suction bubble,
but not an ear
It's got
candle.
drops.
That's for hippies,
It's
right?
got drops you drop in that's
Yeah.
supposed to help dissolve.
It's got a name.
And it kind of fizzes up
And
a
then
little
it
bit.
fizzes up a little
Okay,
bit.
some
and
kind
then
of solution.
It's a solution.
It softens the
But
wax.
saline solution.
You don't
Okay,
have like
go on.
the rubberized bulb though, right?
That font is called Horizon, you guys.
Yeah.
So you drop the little drops in, and it fizzes for a while, and then you take the little squirty thing with the hot warm water in it, and you squirt it up in there, and that's supposed to do it. So I did that a couple of times to no avail.
oh,
So now I'm starting to think I'm gonna have to go to the doctor.
No.
Like, somebody's gonna have to
man.
get up
But they
in there
do- but
and
they
figure out
do
what's
it.
going on because the home remedy is not working, and I was really starting to feel a little like concerned.
Yeah.
And then
this is the new you. This is
Yeah.
you forever from now on.
Okay.
This is how it all ends.
Yeah.
And then after several days of that, one morning I woke up and it was just
It had
Cleared.
shifted.
wherever it went, I don't know. I expected to find like a giant, like
A plug, a
piece of-
mucus plug
piece
on
of
your pillow.
hole on my pillow.
Yeah, with the shape,
size of a piece of
with the
coal.
exact same
No, it
mold of your
it
ear
fell
canal.
off when you were sleeping on your stomach, and then you accidentally just
Maybe I swallowed
Ate it.
and then a cat ate it. Yeah, a cat.
Did you guys see that picture? Speaking of things that are the shape of the thing, did you see that picture of the guy who had a clot in his lungs, and when they pulled it out, it was
looked
the
the shape
shape
of the
of
lung.
like the
Lung?
Yeah.
the lung artery, the like
Yeah.
arterial sort of.
yeah.
It looked like branches, and
that must have felt good when that came out.
There's something like disgustingly
It was
sad.
crazy.
There's certain
Wow.
things in life that are disgusting, and
like when that woman got her pennies or contact lenses stuck in the back of her.
exactly. But
Way
there's
back in the very first episode of
But
this
there's
show.
something like disgustingly satisfying about certain types of like, oh, the skin is peeling off on a sunburn, and then you just take the whole thing off in like one orange.
That's a great
peel,
feeling.
and you just feel like it's over.
That's terrific.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of-
really
I've
was
ever
nervous
done
about the whole ear thing.
I bet.
I gotta say, not to. I had the same thing when we were on our vacation.
Oh.
One of my ears got clogged up, and I actually went to the doctor
Oh
and
man.
had it cleaned.
Yeah.
They
And was that
shoot a bunch of shit in your ear,
it's like a ear enema.
that doesn't sound
Yeah.
hygienic.
and it's a saline solution.
But I've wondered what they do with all that shit when I flush it. But that's good to know. It's got a medical purpose.
Then like all this shit comes out, but it didn't work. It didn't. The was so big they couldn't
Impacted.
flush it.
Yeah, it was
And
impacted.
then they started digging in
your whole
with-
life,
with-
right?
with little tweezers.
Oh.
Tried to start pulling.
Did that
stuff
hurt?
off.
Did that feel uncomfortable?
Well, what was funny was
I
they,
could talk about this for a long time.
Me too.
she was going in there.
We really should be saving
Should
this for the show. but
pull-
whatever.
This is
Are we
bonus
recording?
material.
Oh, this is bonus content. Are we
Okay.
recording, Jake?
Yeah. We're,
yeah.
I'm
No,
talking
You
into the
gotta-
mic like we are.
You got to be in the $10 range to get this
So you
stuff.
listen
No,
to this
no.
stuff.
This is top
This is
shelf
the money.
stuff.
This is the money material right here.
Paywall
He's not
So it
recording
didn't
it,
get-
but he's,
so it wasn't-
he's remembering it for later.
So then what
they-
happened?
So then she started pulling out with the tweezers.
Okay.
And at one point in time, she pulls out with the tweezers, and all of a sudden, whoa! I could hear. And like opened
that's
it
so
up.
awesome.
But then she went back in to try to pull more out because it still had not cleared out completely. She could
Right.
still see more. She pushed it back onto the drum,
no.
and I couldn't hear again.
No, see, that's what happened to me.
That was like
And
an
then
Abbott and
She
Costello
liked, "Oh, I
routine
don't
with
wanna-
your ears.
I don't want to do any more. I don't want. So then she stopped. And the whole time I had been taking those drops.
Yeah.
that we were
eventually
using,
it
and eventually
softened up.
it softened up. But for like the first 2 days at Disney World, I couldn't hear out of my right ear. And there was a day we were at lunch. We're sitting in this long table, and I'm on the left side of the table, so my right ear is facing everybody else. and I couldn't hear.
And it was
shit.
the most
It was-
peaceful lunch
it
you've
was
ever
so
had.
I know.
nice. And like Catherine was talking to me, and she's like, and I'm like, I can't hear a thing.
You're like,
that's
Daddy
going
can't
on
hear
right." So I
anymore.
just sat there and ate.
And
I
yeah.
didn't have to listen to anybody talking. It was wonderful.
It's a silent movie age again.
I'm sorry you guys had to go through that
story.
And,
but I'm glad there was a silver
and
lining.
I'm also very glad that my wife doesn't listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it was really because, as you guys know, I'm not working, so I don't have health insurance. So I was like, if I have to go to the doctor, like,
It's gonna cost.
if I have to go to the emergency room because I can't hear in my right ear,
False
like,
identity.
Can't you do
Taxpayers will.
Obamacare or no?
I guess I could, but I haven't even
Haven't figured it
bothered to
out.
like look into it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Which I
sure.
probably
I'm pretty
should
sure
do.
that
A federal
that's
judge
what that
just
took
said
care
it
of.
was unconstitutional.
I'm pretty
like
sure.
yesterday.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you
It's
can
gone.
get. I'm pretty sure you can get covered California if you're.
I think now's the
leave
time.
Your job, so
Yeah.
I just haven't. I just
Yeah.
haven't bothered to do
Sure.
it.
So you guys have both brought your plugs with you here today,
Right,
And
and here
they're
they-
both.
I kind of want to see it.
Wow, they're
Because
the-
my sister said she got it done, and a lot of stuff comes
It
out.
basically looks
It's like years and years of buildup.
You know that scene in Jurassic Park where Richard Attenborough has the mosquito trapped in an
Amber.
in amber? That's basically what it looks
It comes
like.
out. There's a mosquito in there,
Right.
wrapped inside.
But is
I
there
want to do it just for that release.
is that shape? Is that shape of it? Is it the shape of your ear canal?
It's exactly the shape of my ear canal.
See, that's what I.
What was
So what
was
I
crazy-
did,
had
what I did
heard.
was I attached a Bluetooth receiver,
Yeah.
and now it's what I use when I need to talk on
and
the
it fits
phone.
perfectly, and you have
And
sound.
then he added Vulcan ears.
It's the shape
to
of
it.
it's the shape of Uhura's earpiece.
Yeah,
And now every time I wear it, Aaron says, "What is that?"
I know.
yeah.
Can I ask you a Star Trek question?
If you must.
Oh God, are we back to
If you
that
absolutely
already?
insist.
Should we wait
Jesus.
until we start the episode for
Sure.
the Star Trek question?
Oh,
Because
Have you guys noticed that font? I know
great-
that Matt has, but has everybody else basked on it?
The font is
It's great.
beautiful.
Okay, let's talk about how the A and the R on the upswing on the on the
Yeah.
midsections just kind of work together,
Yep.
but not like they're fussy, like they're perfect, but close enough. So good.
Same with the R and the E.
And
Yeah,
the E and the S.
Nah, and even the
They
K
have
is kind of
oblique,
yeah.
oblique horizontals.
Yeah, they are. They
According
do
to
have.
Wikipedia.
They do have oblique horizontals, and there it is.
There they are.
Yeah.
Do we
Fantastic.
need ambience.
And also the M and the N are lowercase.
Oh, we might want to turn the heater off.
yeah. That'd be good.
Should I turn that off?
Yeah, that's why.
All right, it's gonna get chilly.
Yeah, we have to get cozy.
I think we'll be okay.
Welcome to Warp After Dark.
Right now it's warped after dark, but before blankets come in.
Yeah. Get a hot
We do
cocoa.
have some comforters in here.
Put
Just press on
7
the-
to
it's on the
12
right,
marshmallow
the
at.
one that's lit green.
We're finally going to solve the
No,
great
don't keep
debate of
pressing it.
Slanket versus Snuggie.
Well, I pressed it, but it didn't go off.
It's gonna go off eventually.
It takes like a little while for it to say.
It's gonna power down.
Yeah, it doesn't want to do it all at once. It's bad for the system.
While we wait for it to stop, I watched Mac and Me. That was great.
Did you watch the real version or the Mystery Science Theater?
MSTK.
Okay.
3K.
I can't wait
Oh,
till
man.
I can watch those.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so
that.
excited.
So I had a thought while I was watching MST3K, which is like, all right, that was kind of a niche thing that only like super cool nerds like myself and
Okay.
Mason were into.
Super cool. Nerds.
Super cool nerds.
What,
Like we-
MST3K?
yeah, like in the
We were
original.
You know,
Super
your
into it
Patton
when we were
Oswalt
in-
types.
All
Are
right.
you talking before? Because it started in the 80s and then it had a resurgence.
We were big fans in the
Back in the
90s.
day.
Yeah, 90s.
The 90s was a reboot. Though.
I know.
I know.
I know.
What
I
I'm
know.
asking is, how OG are you?
Second,
Well,
their second G.
Yeah.
We watched when it was on Comedy Central.
Right.
Yeah. Me too.
Which I realized it was on in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Do you
But
remember-
we didn't live in Minnesota.
Right.
It wasn't like we had access to it.
That was a
until it
public
on.
access show.
Oh, okay, good to know because
Making-
making
excuses,
it
Sean.
referenced on the beginning or something
Kind of
on,
fan
on
are
the
you?
Mac and Me episode about how long it had been on the
Yeah.
air. And it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
more than 30 years.
Yeah,
So
well-
I was struck by that.
Doesn't it
But anyway,
make your ADD or your OCD go crazy that you didn't start at the very beginning, Sean?
I've reconciled that.
Do you remember
Well-
Mitchell?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the greatest
One of the
episode.
greatest episodes. But anyway, what I was thinking about it was I was watching the new episodes and Mac and Me was on, and like I was thinking like how like that was kind of like cutting edge when Sean and I would watch it back in the day, but now 90% of media is MST3K in the sense where we're all just watching other media and
commenting.
This show,
That's
what we're doing
show.
right now.
That's what my thought went to. It's like everything we do now is MST3K, and MST3K doesn't get enough credit for basically
inventing
like YouTube and reaction videos and podcasts, which is most podcasts are
the Daily Show.
Even the murder
the Daily
podcasts
Show
are
is just MST3King the news.
And like murder podcasts are just MST3King actual murders. Right. I mean, I'm just like, they really were ahead of the time, and
Can I tell about the super nerds that Philippe and I were? We were at UCLA, and you know, they used to have lots of free movies and
you go down to Melnitz and see a movie.
Well, it was
at
Ackerman.
Right.
We would go to the one at Ackerman.
Which is the student union. In
one
UCLA.
day there was all it said was Mystery Science Theater 3000 at Ackerman. So me and Philippe, no one else would come with us. So we were there, and somebody says we were like talking in the line, and we're like, I wonder what's it going? Is it going to be an old one? Because it didn't say it. Just said that they didn't. And the guy in front of us is like, oh, it's called Mitchell. We're like, is it a new one? And he's like, oh yeah. And I turned to Philippe and I said, oh my God, this is Joel's last episode, because we knew he was leaving the show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we were both like, oh my God, we're gonna get to see his last episode before anybody else.
So they were doing like a preview.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's fun.
In the height of my like nerd fandom, which isn't as extreme as some people's, that was pretty much the apotheosis
fun.
of that.
That
whole thing. Like
Mitchell's I remember
because
that one.
not only was it like everything that I love that show, and I love the esoteric nature of being a fan of a show that was sort of underground and it was just bubbling up to mainstream, but it was a fantastic fucking episode.
It's such a great episode. It's so good.
And the
I
audience
remember
was
it from
so
the
into
90s.
it, and it was everybody. It was
so
such
cool.
a
Is that the one where they do his theme song?
Yeah.
And it's like heart pounding, veins clogging.
That's it.
God, I'm the only person in this room who didn't watch that show.
Mitchell?
Yeah.
Can you
didn't
get,
watch
can
the
you get
show
the
at
old
all?
ones
No,
on
not at all. I
Netflix?
mean, I have seen it.
A lot of them are on Hulu.
I've seen it, but I was not a regular watcher.
Mitchell's
of
a
it.
highlight for sure.
I mean, the thing is, they were uneven because the movies were uneven, and they also.
But there are some that are like Cave Dwellers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that I watched the shit out. That was the only one I had on tape,
That one was fantastic.
and I would watch it all the time. It was so good.
Well, they really had to turn them around really fast, and that's really like a lot of writing to do for an episode. So they were pretty amazing considering like the amount of time.
I think I remember watching their behind the scenes that they watch every movie like 3 times.
Yeah.
Like one to watch it, and when the next one to like when they really start breaking down the jokes and stuff.
Yeah, and then the third to
a lot
sort
of
of clean up.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, but it's a lot of, and some of the movies are just so bad in a way that is not fun.
Well, it's like when we do this show.
Yeah.
Like the episodes that are really boring to watch it's sort of harder to do funny things about them. Like what we're watching tonight is going to be pretty easy to actually talk about because there's so many weird things in the episode.
Let's do
All
this
right, hit play.
Let's hit play
before I lose my buzz.
I've already drunk most of my drinking. So.
Well, this isn't a lot of drinking, so we need ambient.
Yeah, let's hold.
Oh, there's a new drinking game where we have to drink every time there's a tribble on the screen.
Oh, good lord!
Oh God, dead people.
This is your last episode of Warped.
Yeah.
All right, hold.
Shh.
All right, thank you. That was for George Bush Sr. Moment of silence.
Wow.
Should we do ambient too?
Nah.
Nah, we're good. Yeah, that's right.
Welcome.